Ibrahim, if you could come back up and try again. Your connection failed last time, but you can come up and try again, Ibrahim. There you go.
Yeah,
There you
hopefully now better.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to clarify one thing that, like I'm good, my English is not that very good, but I will try my best to explain the situation.
Okay.
So, as you said, the topic is Islam is false, change my mind. Basically, I brought up and I was grown up as a Muslim to a Muslim family. So I took the religion, like out of my family. But after, like I will not say, like I seek the knowledge, but I got some information. It was the only religion, which is Islam, makes, like more sense for me. So
Okay.
this is after. I will not say that I read the Bible and I read the Old Testament, all of them, but like I read some of the verses, and it was like has contradiction on them. So that's make me like stay and stick with my religion, not like changing to another religion.
Okay, so you heard what I was just sharing with the previous guest, right? On why I think Islam is false, because it makes certain claims that turn out to be false. Like they're just completely untrue, right? One of those being that the previous scriptures mention the Quran. So if the previous scriptures don't mention the Quran, then the Quran is false. It's making a false claim.
Yeah, basically, I was writing for you in the comment sections that which because you mentioned 26, but I didn't get the number of the verse. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 196. 196.
26 what?
So it's chapter 26, verse 196.
196. I don't know. I have a problem with the TikTok. If I need to go and check the Quran application, it will, the TikTok.
I can show it on the camera.
Yes, please. Yeah, okay. You would. Yeah,
I got you.
You will make a big favor.
All right. Teamwork makes the dream work, Ibrahim. Okay.
Exactly. Yes.
All right. So see here. So here's the verse here, and it says, and indeed it is, in brackets it says mentioned, in the scriptures of former peoples.
Is there any way that you can bring it in Arabic? So
yeah.
Because I'm, my first language is Arabic, so وَإِنَّهُ لَفِي زُبُرِ الْأَوَّلِينَ. Yeah.
There we go.
So yeah, this is a very short verse. So if we need to understand the tafsir of it, we need to go, like
a few verses before, right?
Yeah, before and after. Then we can.
Yeah, we can start at verse 192 for context. We'll go to 192 and then we'll read forward. Okay, so it's or you can do that.
وَإِنَّهُ لَتَنزِيلُ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Yeah, it's a revelation from the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Now, just from my curiosity, does it say Quran in the Arabic or no?
No, but there is, which called Damir, which is this وَإِنَّهُ. It's referred to the Quran.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. There is, I don't know what's the name of English, but this وَإِنَّهُ, it doesn't say Quran, but this Damir, it's referred to the Quran.
Gotcha.
So,
okay, yeah. Good to know. All right. And so this verse here, 193, next verse.
Yeah, which was brought down by an angel, or, like a revelation, through.
Yeah, the spirit brought it down, right?
Yeah.
And then it says, all right, next verse.
على قلبك لتكون من المنذرين, upon your heart. This is he talked to Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
And لتكون من المنذرين, that you
maybe a warner,
right? I understand it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be
good. And then in
بلسان عربي مبين, which is in Arabic language.
Mm-hmm. Revealed it in the Arabic language, and then 196.
وإن الأولين. Yeah, definitely it talks about Quran. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, the Quran, it's ده في زبور الأولين. Yeah. So yeah, it was mentioned maybe. Yeah. It could be. So yeah, it could be the right thing.
So my thing is that obviously I read the previous scriptures. I read the Torah, I read the gospel. I do it every day. And there's nowhere where the Quran is mentioned in them. Nowhere does the previous scriptures mention the Quran. And so because the Quran is making a claim like this, it's demonstrating like it gives us this is something that is testable, right? We can actually verify this and check this. And if we do, we'll find that the Quran is false because it doesn't say what the Quran says is there. So that's a big issue for me.
Exactly, and I totally understand your point. And with no offense, I really respect, to be honest with you, me, like I have been taught in the schools and, like through my daily life and through my parents that, even our religion, and, because you read the Quran or you knew some verses of Quran that Christians and Jews mentioned as the people of the book. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So this is a compliment, like to the Christians and the Jews that they believe in, like in books that revealed by God. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is a verse in Quran, and this is, don't take it as offense.
Yeah? You could be as honest and real as you want here, Ibrahim. I won't take offense. I promise.
So the verse saying that إنا نحن نزلنا الذكر وإنا له الحافظون, that basically the Quran hasn't been corrupt or changed, or anything.
It hasn't been changed.
Yeah. So basically, you have the right, as you read the Bible and the Old Testament, to say that Quran, it was not mentioned in them, so the Quran is false. But the Muslims, they will respond that, our book was not changed and has never been changed, so maybe the Bible, the one who has changed or something. So it's
and that would be wrong
from both ways they can argue.
So the reason why that argument wouldn't work is because obviously the Quran points to the previous scriptures as if saying that they're true. And like it says in Surah Ma'idah, verse 47, it says, let the people of the gospel judge by what Allah has revealed in it. And whoever doesn't judge by what Allah has revealed, then those are among the rebellious and wrongdoers, right? So according to the Quran, I have to judge by my gospel. And so it doesn't make sense to think that Allah is telling me to judge by a book that is changed and corrupted. Like, I don't think Allah would mislead me in that way to do that, right?
Yeah. So my understanding to this point of view, basically, why God didn't send one messenger, or let's call it one person, to with one book for for all the humanity, for all the time. So basically, my understanding to how the things works back in the days, God sent different people or different prophets, let's call them, to different people and at different times. So every like Moses, he came with the Torah, and Jesus came with the Bible. So every recent book came to with the new things that the people, they have to follow. So basically, what I'm trying to say, the Jews that believe in Moses at the time when Moses was down on the earth, they will enter the paradise, and they will, their religion is totally correct. And the Christians who believe in what Jesus, when Jesus was on the earth, they will enter the paradise. But you have to follow the, let's call it, updating from the God, that he sent a new messenger.
But here's the issue with this, is that when you guys are saying that God has revealed these different messages, you guys are coming and saying that the previous messages are corrupt, they've been changed, there's no way back to them, and all we got is the Quran now. And so that's the problem, is that the Quran never says that, it never points to that. but it says the opposite, that the Quran's mentioned in these previous scriptures, that we have to judge by these previous scriptures, that we have nothing to stand on unless we stand on the Torah and the Injil, right? The gospel, or else we're losers. To believe in the Quran because the Quran confirms what we have with us. So the Quran over and over again affirms that the Bible is true and is preserved and it's authoritative. But Muslims tell us the opposite. So,
to be honest, it's a very good point from you to mention that, because in Quran it's never mentioned that the Bible and the Old Testament has been touched or corrupted.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's never mentioned. I read the whole Quran, and there is no a single verse that's saying Bible or Torah has been changed or this. But the Muslims, they think this because of the contradiction, and I don't know if they are right or wrong. So they could be right, they could be wrong, but this contradiction, it's always there. Like there is a contradiction between Bible and Old Testament.
But there's not.
Old Testament, no, there is. Old Testament in the Hosea 11:9, it says God cannot be a man.
It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that at all.
No,
we can trust.
Could you check it?
We can. We can do that in just a second. I promise. I have no problem going over those verses and clearing that stuff up, because it doesn't say that. But my point is that if, let me say I granted you, I don't agree, but let's say I granted you that the Old Testament and the New Testament contradicted each other. Well, then that would there's still a problem with the Quran, because it's affirming the Old Testament, saying the Old Testament is true, and it's saying the New Testament is true. But then if the New Testament and Old Testament contradict each other, then the Quran is affirming two books that contradict, saying that both is true. So that means that the Quran still has a problem. It'll still be false for affirming two books that contradict each other. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, I understand, but as I explained it, as far as I know and my knowledge, I'm still seeking knowledge. So basically, as I said, that any recent religion came after the one before it. It came with, I will call it, it's like an update or a new information that it doesn't exist in the religion.
But that new information cannot contradict the previous information, right? It just adds to it. It contributes to the old.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
the problem is that the Quran comes and contradicts the old information. It's not in line with it. It doesn't add to it, but it goes against it. And that's the issue we have.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So please, because this is as well one thing that I confused when, I was searching. So in the Old Testament, Hosea 11:9, that said God cannot be a man, and in the New Testament, of course, that they believe that Jesus is a God, and some of them they believe he's a son of God. Some of them they believe he's a God. So
I'll clear this up. I'll clear this up with you really quick, but then I want us to come back to this point here. But you've been dealing with this honestly, so I have no problem definitely clearing this up for you. So let's go to Hosea 11.
11:9.
Yep. Here it is. We're going to look at it in this context and show you what it says, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is Hosea chapter 11, okay? Now we're going to just read a few verses before verse 9, okay? It says, "How can I give you up, O Ephraim? How can I hand you over, O Israel? How can I make you like Admah? How can I treat you like Zeboim? My heart recoils within me. My compassion grows warm and tender. I will not execute my burning anger. I will not again destroy Ephraim, for I am God and not a man, the Holy One in your midst, and I will not come in wrath." So the context of this is God having mercy on Israel instead of completely destroying them, because he promised to preserve them, right? So when he says, I will not execute my burning anger, I will not again destroy Ephraim, because he promised he wouldn't do that, for I am God and not a man. Now, he doesn't say I cannot become a man, I cannot take on a human form. He says, for I am God and not a man, in light of him going against his promise. Men go against their promises. They break their word, but God doesn't. So it's talking about his character as one who's consistent and one who doesn't go against his word like man does. Does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of. So because you explained it, like that in this in exactly these two verses, that like it's the God character who are like talking, or let's say,
Yes, exactly.
saying, yeah, not the man character.
Exactly.
Or
So, and we do have verses where it does teach that God will take on a human form. So if we go, so that was Hosea. If we go to Isaiah, and we go to Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6, this actually tells us that God is going to come in the form of a boy. All right, so in the form, so he says, for to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. So this son to be born, this child who's being given, is identified as the mighty God and everlasting Father and the Prince of Peace. So God,
this is the Old Testament.
Yes, sir. This is the Old Testament, Prophet Isaiah. So yeah, we have some verses like, in the Old Testament that demonstrates that, yeah, God in the future plans to come to us in human form. And so when it happens, when Jesus comes and reveals himself, we shouldn't be surprised when he comes and he says things like, I'm the one who gives eternal life, or I'm the resurrection and the life, or I'm going to judge on judgment day and I'm going to raise the dead and decide who goes to heaven and hell. I'm the Lord that you have to submit to get to heaven. He says all are to honor the Son the same way they honor the Father, right? Like he deserves that same level of honor. So Jesus makes these crazy claims that a mere human prophet cannot make, or else he'll be blaspheming, committing shirk, So
yeah, thanks for the explanation, and I really appreciate that. You answered the question. To be honest, I don't need to take more time because it's not fair for the other people.
Brother,
I have a lot of questions regarding some confusing points that I faced. So I will I will follow you.
Yeah.
And maybe we can talk, because we need to give other people chance to come up and speak.
Well, Ibrahim,
I follow you, and hopefully I will speak to you.
Yes, you're welcome anytime, man. I really enjoyed this conversation. So you're welcome anytime, brother.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good day, man.
You too.
All right. Pretty good guest. Pretty honest guest. Gracious guest.